Welcome to the Communication Diva Podcast, episode 92. On this episode of the podcast, Jen interviews two of the three founding partners in Springboard Theatre Productions, a new theatre company in Vancouver that soon will be staging its first musical called Darling, a dark retelling of the Peter Pan story. One of Springboard's founding partners is Jen's daughter, Katie. As long as we're engaging in a little nepotism here, let me tell you about Springboard's second production in the works for early 2015. It's a one-woman show called The Diva Sings the Divas, where Jen will cover all her favorite Celine Dion and Barbra Streisand tunes. The theater location for this vocal tour de force? Second star to the right and straight on till morning.
Hi everyone, this is Jen and I am broadcasting here to you from the home office studio, and it's been many months of construction with a plumbing disaster we had in our house, with all sorts of renovations, not super fancy renovations that make anything really actually look better, although we do have a brand new bathroom and laundry room, but renovations that were essential for the house to function properly, such as fixing all of the plumbing that was done so badly and more. So it's been literally 3 months of hammering and pounding and drywall dust everywhere. And in the midst of that, because we aren't busy enough people, we decided to get a puppy to raise for the Pacific Assistance Dog Society. I've talked about this already once. But a puppy, we had no idea how much work a puppy was. A bunch of our friends are rolling their eyes and laughing at us. But we love Bandit. He's a beautiful little soul. And we're happy to have him. But it's like being new parents all over again. You know, you have to trade off the puppy. You have to pack a bag wherever you go in case he pees or poos somewhere. And it's a whole new experience. So anyway, it's been a crazy time, a busy time, and I'm writing a book right now that I'm excited about. My first draft is due November 1st, so it's a busy time. And in this time, we are continuing to do work here at Communication Diva. I'm interviewing people. I've got a number of interviews lined up and ready to put out for you. So today I'm going to bring you this interview with my daughter Katie and her friend Kayla and her other friend Michelle, who actually isn't. You won't hear Michelle's voice because she's busy, but the girls are here to talk about their passion and their dream and what it is that they are doing and the risk that they took by doing this big thing. So I'm turning you over now to the producers of Springboard Theatre Productions. Hey everybody, this is Jen Swanson with the Communication Diva Podcast, and we are here today in the home studio, and I've got two of the three-person production company called Springboard Theatre Productions, and one of them happens to be my daughter Katie. So we've got Katie Purych, we've got Kayla Heyblom, and we are missing Michelle Bardak, who has another engagement this evening. But I would like to welcome you to the studio.
Thanks.
Thank you. And if we could start off with just telling the listener a little bit about yourselves, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. I'm Kayla, and I'm one of the three producers. And all three of us went to the musical theater program at Capilano University in North Vancouver, BC. And we've been graduated for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And we all joined forces to start this company.
Yeah, we all work day jobs and we do theater in the evenings. And we were at an audition, or after an audition, we were all having lunch one day. And we were saying, we should really put together our own company, and we can definitely be in these shows if we have our own company.
Well, you've been in a lot of shows, all three of you, right? So what are some of the things that you've done?
Kayla and I just finished Vixens of Wonderland. It's a burlesque musical with Concrete Vertigo Productions. And I also worked on Annie with Royal City, Shrek with Align Entertainment.
I recently did Cats with URP, which is Uncle Randy Productions. And we both did Titanic a couple years ago with Theater Under the Stars.
And these are all in the Vancouver area for those of you listening from far away.
Mm-hmm. Michelle is currently playing Eponine in Les Mis in Chemainus. She's awesome.
And very busy as well, too. Yeah. So you've been in all sorts of productions, many of which I've been fortunate to see. And that's all been great. But you've decided to start your own production company to put on a show that you're going to be in, or what was the impetus for this?
The original thought was that we would do a show so that all three of us could be featured. And we heard about this show through a friend at a lunch discussion, just brainstorming through shows. We had never heard of it. And then when we decided to follow through and actually pick a musical, we thought this one would have three strong female roles. And then when we actually got the script, we realized that was not the case at all. But we loved it so much that we decided to do it anyway.
Well, there are strong female roles in it.
But not three.
Not three, and not suited for
us.
So can you tell us a little bit about the musical? What is it called and what's it about?
It's called Darling, a Musical, and it's by B.T. Ryback and Ryan Scott Oliver. And it's kind of a dark retelling of Peter Pan. And it's set in Boston, just right before, during, and after the stock market crash. And it follows the story of Ursula, our Wendy character. And she's the daughter of a rich banker, and she runs into Peter, who's the leader of a gang of feather boys. And he kind of steals her away into this underground world of burlesque. And it's very gritty and dark. And it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. How did you find this script?
We heard about the show through a friend, and we found it on Google, and we ended up contacting, we found it through an agency called Gersh, and they own the rights to the script. And so we contacted them and got in touch with actually the writers of the show and went back and forth with them. We had to become a production company, though, because they don't send scripts to just random people, so we had to register as a business, and that's how we became Springboard Theater Productions. We wanted to read a script, so we made a theater company so that we could do that. And then when we got the script, we decided that we should actually produce the show because we loved it so much. And then we started asking around and asking people, do you want to direct our show? Do you want...
Yeah, we had a brainstorming night where we thought of people who we have worked with or have wanted to work with in the community. And we wrote all their names down, and we're like, well, we might as well just ask them. And we told them that we're a new company, so the chances of it being a paid gig were very, very slim. And every single person that we asked were extremely on board and interested and wanted to help and give us all the advice that they could.
So before we get into all the people that you've formed relationships with around this, I just want to go back to the learning curve. Like this, can you tell everybody how old you are?
I'm 22.
I'm 23.
And Michelle's 25. So we all just graduated from theater school, and we're performers first. And so this was... I don't think any of us knew how big of a job producing is, and I have the deepest respect for any producer. It's
Me too.
a huge job. But we made a goal, and we wanted to make this happen, and so it's lucky we have three of us because it's a big job.
And we started this in June last year, so it's been over a year now that we've been working on it.
In 2013.
Yes.
Yeah. So how do you even, like, did they teach you any of this in theater school? How do you even begin to put on a musical in Vancouver, and put yourselves out there? How do you even begin that?
We have a lot of, it's a really big community of support in Vancouver in the theater scene. And so we had a couple friends who were producers, and the company Align Entertainment, their producer, we had a lunch meeting with her, Patty Volk, she's lovely. And she kind of gave us kind of a rundown of things to watch out for and kind of a little checklist of things, the basics of what you need to know. Mm-hmm. And so that was really helpful. So trial and error, and everyone has a lot of patience with us.
Yeah, and just a lot of advice, like even example of asking other producers an example budget that we could use as an example or to compare to just see if we were even close to thinking we could do that with what we wrote down. Everyone has been super, super helpful.
Do you have some mentors in the process?
I don't think any like main ones. We've had a huge amount of help from...
It's everyone we've asked has been incredibly supportive. If they're not offering to help hands-on, they're giving us advice, or they're sharing our Facebook page.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we have like one or two. We have like the whole community.
Yeah.
So is it less of a competitive community in the theater scene in Vancouver and more of a collaborative one?
Definitely on this side of things, yeah.
Okay. So because there's a fair bit of theater in Vancouver, right?
A lot of community theater, yeah.
A lot of community theater, yeah. If you were to number it in Canada at least, what would it be?
I don't know.
You don't know, yeah. Yeah, okay. So you had a lot of people that are helping you, a lot of people that you've asked to be part of this. Do you want to talk about any of those people?
Yeah, our director and choreographer is Dawn Ewan, and we'd worked with her on a few shows before, and we love working with her. She's great, and what if we asked Dawn? What if she said yes?
Wouldn't that be great?
And we asked her, and she said, yes, I'm in, let's do it. So she was the first person that we asked, and that was
like the first real step of us being like, wow, she just said yes, we can do this.
And so everyone else, Stephen Greenfield is our musical director. He's amazing. Same thing, we didn't have a music director, and we said, well, what's this gonna hurt asking him? And he said yes, which was great. Yeah, everyone we've asked has, if not jump on board, they've helped in some way.
You've had a couple of fundraisers and different things for this. How are you funding this show?
We're taking out a loan for it and hoping to be reimbursed through ticket sales, and we've done a couple of fundraisers.
What kind of fundraisers?
We did 2 pub nights that were very successful.
I think I was at one of those.
Yes, you were.
And then you've also got an Indiegogo campaign going on.
Yes.
We do. That will be done on October 1st. We're hoping to raise $1,000, and we're part of the way there.
All right. Do you have the coordinates for that? People can find you at where?
Yes. Just look up Darling a Musical on Indiegogo.com, and we are on there.
Okay, so they can contribute there and help this fledgling theater production company. Excellent. Okay, so you've got these relationships going on with a whole bunch of different people. It's a collaborative effort. What's the biggest thing you've learned so far?
I've learned, before it happened, I had a lot of doubts that people would just say no, or I would put words in their mouths. I've learned that I can't try to see what's going to happen. Like, you have to just approach it. Even if you think you know what's going to happen, you might be completely wrong. Because so far, everyone has been way more helpful than I ever thought could happen. And it's been amazing to see that.
So you can trust that it's okay to ask people now.
Yeah.
Instead of expecting the answer to be no, you can look at the possibility of what if they say yes.
And it doesn't hurt to ask.
And it doesn't hurt to ask, because no one said no so far. Everyone's been so helpful and so supportive, but it's just a no.
Right.
If they do.
And what about any of your former teachers? Have you had any support from them?
Yes. They've been great. We wrote this grant application a year ago. We were hoping to get funded. We didn't end up getting it, but we had a couple of teachers write us reference letters and give us some really helpful pointers in that direction, and it's great. All the teachers at Capilano in the musical theater department, the theater department there is great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you've had help from your former teachers. It sounds like you've... and how big is your team of people? Like, how many are in the cast? And
our cast is about 20 people, and I think we actually have more production. Yeah, I believe there's around 30 production people.
That's going down into, like, costumes and...
our musicians.
Musicians and, like, all of our technical stuff.
So there's live music in the show?
There is, yes.
Fantastic.
Got a band. It's going to be great.
And what about things like renting space and where are you putting this on and all of the rest of it?
It's being put on in Renegade Studio. It used to be the Vancouver Playhouse prop house. And so it's a big warehouse, and the show is set in a warehouse, so it's cool. It's been converted into a really nice theater there. Yeah, we have to cover all of the rental costs of the venue, the rehearsal space, all of these things that as performers we've never thought of before that we're learning through producing. Yeah, it's been a big learning curve.
I definitely have a new respect for being an actor, being in a rehearsal studio and just being an actor, but knowing that so much else is going on other than just my job in the show. It's been very eye-opening.
Lots and lots of people behind the scenes doing
so
things.
many, and so much of their personal time is put into it, and you don't even. Sometimes it like I've never actually really done a show and been like, wow, I'm so grateful for those producers. That just never. That's not a thing.
Now.
But we are now.
Because it takes so much.
So much.
Wow. Has there been anything that you've forgotten or missed that you should have done? I mean, I'm sure there are things that, next time if, you'll remember to do that. But are there any things that have happened that you've kind of been scrambling about?
A lot of little things. Everyone is very, we're really good at moving on and it's not how the problem happened, it's how to fix the problem. We had a miscalculation with our set, so it ended up the set that we ordered was going to be too tall. And so overnight, the assistant director and the director, everyone sat down and designed a new set for it so that we could start blocking the show the next day. And everyone's in it together, and so it's really nice that there wasn't blame pointed anywhere. It was just, how do we solve the problem? So that's how it's been for every little thing that's popped up.
Which I think is incredible considering how big our production team is. Mm-hmm. Is that everyone is working together in all of those areas to make it the best show it can be.
So piles of conversation and I'm sure emails.
It's impossible to find emails if I'm looking for a specific one, because anything that has darling in the title, I have about 18,000 emails.
Right. And with, 50 people plus on board, you're not paying these people, right? How's that all working?
We've become a collective. So the agreement is that if the show makes money, we're going to divide it equally.
Our original plan was that we wanted to pay, because as an actor, there's a lot of community theater in Vancouver where it's all volunteer, and it's been great, but we were wondering, like, why? Because I know a lot of musicians get paid, and we just, never being on this side of it, we weren't sure why. And so we wanted to really see if we could make that happen. And now being on this side, we understand how that is very difficult. The budget is very difficult.
Especially with a large group of people.
So we thought the collective would be the easiest way to still try and meet our original plan, and with making it still the best it can be without having to take away from the huge areas where the money also needs to go, like renting the space and our set and all the other things that you also don't think about as an actor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you must be dreaming about this at night, because the show opens pretty soon, hey?
We open a month today.
A month today, and this is September 8th when we're recording this. Mm-hmm. That's right. So what are you hoping to get out of this? Because it's you started off by saying that you had hoped that you could create a show, produce a show that the three of you would be featured in. You've got parts in it, right?
Yeah, all three of us are in it. Michelle is, I believe she's only going to be in the last show, like closing night, because she will be too busy doing Les Mis, because it was an amazing show, so it got held over. But she's an understudy that will be needing to go on for the last night, so all three of us are involved. I don't know, I really enjoy that it's a different style show for Vancouver. My mind has shifted of less about what I wanted and what Vancouver or the community will be getting out of it. Like, it's a different style show, and the fact that we're all young and kind of just like you can do it. Motivation to other people that, I mean, it takes work, but you can do it if you really want to.
Yeah. Our initial idea was so that we could all be in a show, but we've been working on it for over a year now, and it's I don't know, what I wanted to get out of it has definitely changed over time. And now it's about the show itself. And I'm an ensemble part in it. And I would be a tree in the background. I just want the show to be this fun bubble of, it's great. I'm having so much fun.
Rehearsals have been amazing. It's actually a very short rehearsal process. We've only had a week of rehearsals so far. And it's been amazing to just sit and watch a year of thought and hard work come to life in bodies. It's been amazing.
It's also really inspiring too. The cast is amazing, and everyone's coming in with such passion for the show because it's something new, and no one knows about it yet. And it's a great show, but just everyone's dedication to this project, and so everyone's caring about it, and it's really cool to see.
It's contagious. Other people's passion for the show just makes your passion for it even stronger. It's such a great atmosphere in the room.
And you had a huge roster of people auditioning for you, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had about 100 people come out for it, which is incredible.
Being a new company, that was more than I thought we would get. It was amazing.
And you didn't do the casting?
No,
we auditioned for the show as well.
Right. So you had your director.
It was our director, music director, our stage manager,
and assistant musical director.
Mm-hmm. So you had a panel do it. Yeah. So you had a large audition. You've got 20-ish people on board, a whole bunch of extra people doing it. What makes this show so different? Why is it so different and something that Vancouver hasn't seen before?
It touches on different topics. It's very dark, and it takes a story that you know, and it completely, I don't know, puts it in a new light.
It's a familiar story that everyone knows, but it's turned on its head, and it's gritty and it's dark, and these characters that you know so well they're in these terrible situations, and you can still see the glints of the plot of Peter Pan shining through, and it's just such an interesting take on it, and the music is beautiful.
I think what makes it so new or so interesting and new to Vancouver is the fact that it's never been done. Like, even for the auditions, people were messaging us being like, I can't even find it on YouTube. How do I learn my audition material? So it's new, and it's dark, and it's not like a classical musical that people have been going to for years. Like, it's
Something
it's
fresh.
a risk. It's something different.
And yeah, it's not every day that you get to work on something that you haven't seen it before, so there's no expectation of what it's going to be. As an audience member going in, you don't know, you haven't seen the person play it before, so it's a fresh take.
And it originated in New York, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it was workshopped and that there.
It's still being workshopped.
Still being workshopped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay.
It's not even complete. We just have a draft at the moment.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think the people that have written it are going to come and see it? Or
I hope so.
We'd love that.
I'll give them a free ticket.
That would be fabulous. So it's not like we all just recently saw Wicked.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
And just that's the first thing that came to mind when you were describing a familiar story, but from a different...
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was just saying in rehearsal the other day, even though I've known the script and the story for a year, watching every rehearsal, I find a new reference to Peter Pan, or a new something clever in the script that I didn't pick up on before, and it's very well written. And just to pull out those things, like I felt that way. It was actually my first time seeing Wicked, and it was amazing. And to see all of those things, like, I'm sure I could see it another 10 times and find new things every time. And it's the same feel with that, which I am loving right now.
So it's like incubating something and giving birth to it, I guess.
I wouldn't know, but sure.
Yes, Mom.
Yeah, exactly. Huh. So if you were going to, share some piece of wisdom with people who are listening as to the whole process that you've gone through, what would that be? I mean, you can say more than one thing, but what would those things be?
I would start by saying that if you have a dream or a thought of anything that you want to accomplish, don't think that it's unachievable, And don't put those thoughts into your head that it might not work, because you never know until you try. Because here we are a year later with a show that's going to open in a month.
Mm-hmm. And also, if that thought changes and evolves over time and your initial idea of what it was going to be is something new and different, that's okay. It's exciting, and it's you change, and your dreams and your ideas change. It's really cool.
Yeah, because it sounds like it's evolved for you, and as you've been going along, and turned into something much bigger than you thought it would be in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And it's obviously, for us, it's something much bigger, but now there's also like 50 people that are involved and affected, and I'm sure their thoughts have also changed. Like it's so much bigger now.
It's also really interesting discovering how much support is around you. As we said, everybody we asked for advice or for help, everyone came through and was very supportive and positive. And so it's eye-opening to the amount of support, and that is
right there.
Mm-hmm. Did you have anybody say, "Oh, you can't do that. You're just 20-something"?
Just the voices in our head.
Definitely
Really?
Those. I don't think anyone said you can't do it, but a lot of people said, "How are you going to do it?"
Okay.
And I don't think we actually had an answer. It was like, I don't know, but we're going to just do it.
You just had the drive to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. And do the people who are in the show collaborate as well? Do they get to have input into how things are going to be?
That's between them and the director. Like it's a full on, like the director has final say, obviously. So
Right. So you guys have given up your control.
We have no creative input.
What brought that decision on? Just out of curiosity.
That's
just the way it works.
I mean,
we asked Dawn to direct, and we trust her opinion entirely, and she's got a vision for the show. And
we had many meetings where she would like explain her thoughts and be like, is this okay? Is this still how you guys are imagining things? Like, it was throughout the year we had many meetings, and we were lucky enough that Dawn was exactly what we wanted, and all of her thoughts, we were like, yeah, that is actually what we want. And so it just kind of shifted from our hands to her hands, and
she's doing a great job so far.
We're kind of just sitting back and promoting it so that our show is at the best it can be.
Right. And how many hours do you think you've spent a week sort of thing on
idea.
this?
A lot.
Like you both work. Kayla, you have many jobs.
I do. I'm a teacher at many different studios for musical theater, and I'm also a nanny and a producer and an actor. So I don't even think I could make an educated guess other than a lot.
A lot. And Katie, you work full time too.
I do. I'm an assistant in an office, 9 to 5. And then we do theater in the evenings, and yeah. But when you love what you're doing, it doesn't feel like work. And the hours that we spend working on Darling, it doesn't feel like work. We're making our project happen. And
right.
Yeah.
How's it going to be when it's all over?
Don't want to think about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Haven't really thought about it.
I mean, as actors, you've been on stage, and at the end of the show, it's sad because you're saying goodbye to this community that you've come to know and love for, 3 months, 4 months, if you're rehearsing a show and then performing it. But this is a year plus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I asked a hard question.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, well, maybe you just have to do another show, right? Do you see this going on, this production company?
Potentially.
It could. I don't know. It's things are so... There isn't really room to think of what's next because there's still so much to think about in the present. So
I would say the possibilities there for sure.
Yeah.
Right, because you will have learned so much by the time you get to closing night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and all the stuff that goes on. All right, awesome. So where can people find you if they want to buy tickets, if you happen to be in the Vancouver area? This is happening October 8th to the 18th.
Yes.
And you can find ticket information where?
You can go to our website, springboardtheater.ca, and there's information about tickets. They're on sale at brownpapertickets.com.
We also have a Facebook page, which is the Springboard Theater Productions on Facebook.
right?
And there's the Indiegogo as well. We have that.
Yeah. Okay. So all sorts of places, and we'll make sure we put all those links into the show notes. And this is not for children, right? What is the
not
age
for children?
So what age range would it be? Like teenager and up kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you said it was dark and it has,
It's
it's not the
definitely-
Peter Pan for kids.
No,
It is definitely
not
the
family friendly.
the mature.
Right, the grown-up Peter Pan version.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, well, I'm intrigued. I've got my tickets happening, and hopefully we'll be there at least once, maybe twice. Any last words you want to say to the Communication Diva audience?
Thanks for having us, Mom.
All right. Okay, so we'll look forward to hearing how it goes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, bye. So thank you for listening to this interview, and I hope that if you are at all interested in supporting the arts, you would be willing to go and help the Indiegogo campaign that is going on right now. And if you have a little extra money that you want to share with a group of young women, and actually the entire group, the 50 plus people, most of whom are young, passionate, talented, creative people who are trying to do something good. They're trying to live out their dream. They're trying to share art with the world, and we can never have enough art in this world. I truly believe it's an amazing form of communication. And so if you're willing to support them and to help them out a little bit, check out that Indiegogo campaign. And if you are anywhere near the Vancouver area between October 8th and 18th, 2014, please do come check out Darling, a Musical. This is Jen Swanson. Thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to talking to you again. My next guest on the show is Leah Levanway, who is a medical esthetician, and I will be bringing her show next. And you might be very interested in learning a little bit more about what it is Leah does and how she spends a lot of time educating and communicating with her clients around their skin and their skin care and how to look after their bodies to be healthier and to get their glow on, as her tagline says. So stay tuned for that. Until next time, take very good care. This is Jen Swanson with